Okay, hello everybody. My name is Jameson Chase Young, and this is Coins in History. Today I'm going to be talking about my 1886 Philadelphia, and afterwards we'll be talking about the Statue of Liberty and the year it was dedicated, so please stick around for that. But meanwhile, I'd like to tell you about my 1886 Morgan Silver Dollars, the Philadelphia Mint. These are great coins. Obviously, everybody loves the Morgan Silver Dollars. I think they're the most collected coin in American history, and for good reason. You know, everybody loves the design. I happen to have quite a few, but definitely not nearly as many as I'd like. I'd like to have like quadruple what I have. Slowly growing my stack of Morgan Silver Dollars. Every few weeks I seem to buy a few more and a few more and a few more because I just like the Morgans so much. And the Morgan Silver Dollars were the U.S. silver dollar from 1878 to 1904, and then again in 1921. The designer's name is George T. Morgan. After those barbers left the Philadelphia Mint, George T. Morgan was the guy who took over as the main man. Their mass is 26.73 grams. Their diameter is 38.1 millimeters. Their thickness is 2.4 millimeters. Their edge is reeded. The composition is 90% silver, 10% copper. And the 1886 Morgan Silver Dollars total mintage was 31,423,000. Now the Philadelphia Mint, this one that we're talking about, it minted 19,963,000. So it's the most common out of all the 1886 Morgan Silver Dollars. It is the most common one because the New Orleans Mint minted 10,710,000. And then the San Francisco Mint minted 750,000. So the San Francisco one's the most rare. I like all my Morgan Silver Dollars, and they're all special and unique in their own way. And regardless of how many of them there are, or it not being very rare, it's still an amazing coin, and it represents an amazing time period in history. And it was during this time period in history when the Statue of Liberty was getting dedicated to the United States. The French built it throughout the late 1870s and into the early 1880s, but it was dedicated on October 28, 1886. The Statue of Liberty, the actual statue, is 151 feet. Now, from ground up to the top of the statue is 305 feet. Its sculptor was last name Barthold. It has in 2019 it had 4.5 million visitors. Its location is Liberty Island, New York City. The copper-clad statue, a gift to the United States from the people of France, was designed by the French sculptor last name Barthold. It was middle framework was built by Gustave Eiffel. Gustave Eiffel is the guy who designed the Eiffel Tower. The statue was dedicated on October 28, 1886. The statue is a figure of a classically draped woman, likely inspired by Roman goddess of liberty. She holds a torch above her head with her right hand, and in her left hand she carries a book that has July 4th, 1776 written on it in Roman numerals, the date of the U.S. Declaration of Independence. She steps on a broken chain and shackles, commemorating the national abolition of slavery following the American Civil War. After its dedication, the statue became an icon of freedom, and the United States seen as a symbol of welcoming immigrants who were arriving by sea. The idea of the statue was conceived in 1865 when the French historian and the abolitionist, last name Labolia, proposed a monument in commemorating the upcoming centennial of the U.S. independence, 1876. The perseverance of American democracy and the liberation of the nation's slaves. Labolia proposed that the people of France finance the statue and the United States provide the site and build the pedestal. Barthold completed the head and the torch-bearing arm before the statue was fully designed, and these pieces were exhibited for public and international expositions. The torch-bearing arm was displayed at the Centennial Exposition in Philadelphia in 1876 and in Madison Square Park in Manhattan in 1876 to 1882. Fundraising provided difficult, especially for the Americans, and by 1885, work on the pedestal was threatened by the lack of funds. Publisher John Pulitzer of the New York World started a drive for donations to finish the project. He attracted more than 120,000 contributors, most of whom gave less than $1, but that was the equivalent of $35 in 2024. The statue, it was actually built in France, and then it was shipped overseas in crates and assembled on the completed pedestal. The statue's completion marked New York's first ticker tape parade and a dedication ceremony presided over by President Grover Cleveland. The statue was administered by the United States Lighthouse Board until 1901, then by the Department of War since 1933. It has been maintained by the National Park Service as part of the Statue of Liberty National Monument. And so they started building it in the mid-70s and then shipped it over piece by piece. I think they shipped most of it over in a big chunk, and they finally got it fully built in 1886, and it was then dedicated on October 28th, 1886. And that's what was going on when these Morgan silver dollars were being made, these 1886 Morgan silver dollars. If you ever been to New York, I have, but I've never been out there to the island, to Liberty Island, but I did see it from the beach on the New York area. But if you ever been to New York, definitely got to stop in there because it's an amazing statue that holds a lot of really amazing history, and so do these 1886 Morgan silver dollars. If you enjoy these videos, please like the video and please subscribe to the channel. My name's Jamison Chase Young, and this is Coins in History. Thanks for watching.